Well, thank you very much for this opportunity to speak with you this morning. As a challenger candidate, we love these opportunities because get to be able to get out and state our case. I want to talk to you a little bit about my background and why I believe I would be a far better representative for you in Congress. As you mentioned, I ran a foundation. I continued to run a foundation called the Defense Forum Foundation. It is a non-profit, nonpartisan foundation that brings people together, Republicans and Democrats, to talk about issues that are important to America. And in that work, I began promoting freedom, democracy, and human rights abroad because all the countries that are a threat to the United States, without exception, are also a threat to their own people. And through that work, became very involved in trying to help people that are in countries where there's severe persecution. And I'm especially known for my work in North Korea and Western Sahara, which are, whether it's Amnesty International or Freedom House, are the two countries that are always make the list of the top 10 most persecuted people in the world. And through that work, was recognized with the Scholte Peace Prize, Sanders Peace and Justice Award, the Walter Judge Freedom Award, a Diplomatic Service Award from the Korean government, and most recently a Volunteer Service Award from President Obama, even though I'm a conservative Republican running for Congress. But that work and doing, working across party lines with many Democrats is what motivated me to run for Congress. I think that we are in a very, very dangerous time in our history. And I believe that the partisanship in Washington is a lot contributing to that. And I say that because of some of the major mistakes that have happened with our government in recent years. And I want to cite just a couple of those. First of all, and these are all because of the divisiveness in Congress. First of all, the Affordable Care Act. If you all remember, poll after poll after poll, the American people said they wanted the uninsured insured, that they were concerned about fellow Americans not having access to health care. And that was what the focus was supposed to be on. But what we got instead, which a law that was passed by only one party. It had bipartisan opposition, but only one party passed it. And it has been a disaster. 175 million have seen their coverage disrupted. We see skyrocketing premiums. We see people losing their health insurance. Hundreds of thousands of people losing health insurance in Virginia. 16 million people are still uninsured. This has been a disaster. And this is what happens when we don't work together to do what's best for Americans or for Virginians. And when we only motivated by doing something for our party. And that's why I decided to run for office, because I believe that the man I'm running against only serves the party, not the people of America or the people of Northern Virginia. And how bad this has been for people. Another thing is the sequester. He denies that he voted for the sequester. He did vote for the sequester. And this was devastating for Northern Virginia. This was another example of people not coming together. Remember, these cuts were never supposed to happen because we were supposed to come up with ways to cut spending. But instead, Virginia took the hit. Virginia took the hit. And our national defense was targeted. 50% of these cuts were at defense. Two things critical to remember. Number one, we cannot meet our national security needs now because of this. Even President Obama's Undersecretary of Defense for Policy has acknowledged that. We can't meet our national security needs. But in addition, for Northern Virginians, you're suffering. And my opponent never should have voted for that. He should have voted against that to look out for us. But he did it for his party. This is why I decided to run for office. We need to come together. I will be a servant for you. I will be there to help you. I am married to a federal employee. Actually, he lost his job because of the sequester, and I did work for the federal government as well. But I will be in the spirit of a Tom Davis and a Frank Wolf. I will be a better advocate for you because I will have a seat at the table when the Republicans are in control of the House. They will listen to me. And I will not introduce a bill to pander to people calling for a pay raise and not get a single Republican. This is a bill that he introduced. Not a single Republican is on this. I know from passing legislation myself that you reach out to your Democratic friends and you work together if you want to get something done. That's why I have Democrats supporting me, as well as independents. They want to see somebody who will stand up for Virginians and stand up for this country and not partisan politics. So I appreciate this time. Thank you.